Hey everybody, we're going to do Harry Darbee's two feather, and this is a very old pattern and has two ingredients, some silk, a spade feather, or a rooster spade feather, and a dry fly hackle. And you fashion the shape of the spade feather like that, like I just showed you there. I'm using a curved hook. I guess this would be a nymph hook, but you know, it's not that heavy. It's a light hook. Because I want the wide gape, and the body is going to kind of be an extended body, so I want this hook to kind of hang below the fly. So you see, you stroke back the spade feathers there like that, leaving the tip on, and you tie on, keeping everything on top. Try and keep it tight and on top. Just cinching it down, and then you're going to lift all those fibers up, keep the stem down, and wrap some jam knots in front. Not enough there, so I got to keep doing it. Once you get those up, you can eventually get rid of the stem. I'm just doing a little stroking there to make sure it's all in the right place. And I did not wax the thread, which was probably a mistake. I wouldn't have had to tweak it so much, but I'm waxing it now and really getting some jam locks in front there to raise that wing up. All right, so we got it pretty up there. Now you want to add a little bit of rubber cement. He says rubber cement to the body there. So I'm using just like a little one-time use applicator tip there, just to get a little rubber cement to shape the body on that. So that's Rooster hackle there. This fly differs from the hatch maker. I've just seen a lot of people tie out there, which tends to use mallard flanks. I don't see anybody gluing or anything. So, you know, you got to be really careful not to get those wet, otherwise that's going to take the fly right down. Rooster hackle, of course, doesn't absorb water, or doesn't absorb water in the same way, particularly after it has a little bit of cement on it. It will not. So, for sure in this situation, the superior material. And then just like you would do a catskill style fly or any sort of winged fly, I'm creating two wings out of those remaining ends of the spade hackle. And you know, there's 100 different ways to do this, and you know, I'm just going with different methods I know. So right now I did some X wraps to you know, separate them into the 50-50. And now I'm going to wind around the far side to gather that hackle together, and then a locking wrap around the shank. And I'm going to do it the same thing to the near set of wings, locking wrap, and now I'm going to go around both of them above the shank, pulling them further upright away from that spent position. But of course you could tie this as a spent fly as well, but in this case I'm pulling them up, and I had one fiber that, you know, kind of came loose there on me on that body part side, so I just cut it out, and just trying to clean up that area in front of the wings and before the eye now, and I'm going to bring them a little bit closer together still, and then a wrap in front and a wrap in back to lock it all, and that's pretty good. Do you have to do that? Absolutely not. You could just leave the wings as is if you want. I'm going to tie in, this is a grizzly hackle now. You can do all sorts of color combinations here. Badger hackle would probably look pretty cool, give you a sort of a dark thorax look. Obviously you can do different color spade feathers. You could use a barred like a grizzly spade, you know, to give you, you know, some, you know, feel like segments. And you know what I forgot? So Harry Darbee removes the tip before he ties it in. And I can tell you that that's much easier than doing it on the fly, which I'm trying to do now. So I'm leaving two fibers on each side of Hackle, and then cutting out that tip, and or that's what I'm trying to do. I'm going to remove the ones I didn't. This would be much easier to do before you tie it in, but I forgot that, so had to do it while it's on there. But we make it work, make it happen, and that mimics the tail. So you have that spade folded forward, tied in, which gives you the wing and the body, and then the few Hackle fibers from the tip is the tail, and now the second, and that's all one feather. And then the second feather is just your dry fly Hackle here that you're winding around. And you know, he says to do, you know, 2 or 3 in the back, 2 in the front, like you would a Catskill dry sort of situation, and basta, that's enough. And that'll float this fly, and this fly is super, super light. It's one of, you know, there's almost nothing to it. It's like, you know, the name implies, it is literally 2 feathers on a hook, and you use thin thread like I was using, and you don't even dress the whole shank, just that little bit under the wing and the wing work, and that's it for thread. So, you know, really, really light fly. Looks very, very realistic, at least to human eyes. You know, this is a new one for me, first time tying it, so I'm not sure how it fishes, but I imagine it works, and would be great on, you know, soft, still locations, duns, really riding on the water. Now, it's a little hard to gauge body length and wing length. Of course, you can leave the wings like that, which are, in this case, are pretty excessively long, and I think that's fine. It will affect the casting a little bit, so you know, I'm cutting them down. You know, purists out there would probably not really like, you know, removing the tips, but I think it looks fine. And that's the fly. Here's one with the grizzly spade and the badger. So give it a try, different combinations, and hope you enjoy. Thanks.